Hey there YouTube, movie fans, and welcome once again. This is 11 Bronson back here, and today it's Quentin Tarantino time. I love Quentin Tarantino, as I said in the previous video, at the end of my previous video. Tarantino is possibly my second favorite movie director of all time. Sergio Leone is my number one, but Tarantino number two. Mostly because Tarantino has Sergio Leone had a huge influence on Quentin Tarantino, and it shows in his movies. And I just love his style of filmmaking. I love the dialogue that he does, of course, just like everybody else. And I do own all of his movies so far, and even some ones that he wasn't directly involved in as a director, but he did write the screenplay, for example, or play in a movie as an actor. So yeah. Let's go over it, starting with the box set, which contains all of his movies up until Inglourious Basterds, the Tarantino XX collection. This is the back. Some nice artwork on here. This includes Reservoir Dogs, True Romance, which he didn't direct but he wrote a screenplay for, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, the Kill Bill Volume 1 and the Kill Bill movies Volume 1 and 2, Death Proof, and Inglourious Basterds, and 2 bonus discs right here on my left to your right. These are all the discs right there, and you do have some nice artwork on the back as well, featuring the Rogues Gallery of Tarantino's characters. Christoph Waltz right here. Yeah, great box set for some of the best movies ever made, if you ask me. I love the Tarantino films. Reservoir Dogs, his directorial debut, the first movie he did. Great movie. What can I say? It's a crime film about a heist gone wrong. It's a heist film where you don't see the heist, so that's pretty great. Great film technique there, or a new stamp on the heist genres, that you don't see the heist this time around. Great performances by people like Harvey Keitel. Michael Madsen is a standout, as well as Mr. Blonde. Stuck in the Middle with You, right? Steve Buscemi is great as Mr. Pink. You got Sean Penn's brother. God, what's his name? Last name is Chris Penn. Yeah, Chris Penn was Sean Penn's brother. God, his name totally slipped my mind there for a minute. But I know you also got people like Tim Roth. Yeah, great film. Great dialogue. Like the opening scene where it's Quentin Tarantino. He also plays a part in the film as Mr. Brown, where he talks about Madonna's song Like a Virgin and how it's a metaphor for big dicks. Great scene. Yeah, I love Reservoir Dogs. Great film. Next up is Pulp Fiction. His masterpiece, of course. One of the best films ever. I think it's even in my top 10 if it would come down to it. Top 10 films of all time, right? I have the poster for it just at a screen. It's right above this shelf. I have some posters. One of them is Pulp Fiction. So yeah, great film, great dialogue. Royale with cheese, right? If you ever given a woman a foot massage, the gold watch thing with Christopher Walken. Great performances by, among others, Christopher Walken and Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, John Travolta. English, motherfucker, do you speak it? What country you from? I never heard of what? Do they speak English or what? Does Marcellus Wallace look like a bitch? So many great dialogue scenes. The dialogue is fantastic in Tarantino's films, and Pulp Fiction is no exception at all. Quite the contrary. Might be the best dialogue he ever wrote, but there's a lot of other great films. And then you had True Romance in between, which I said he didn't direct. Tony Scott directed that film. Tarantino wrote the screenplay. Again, a pretty great movie. And then you had Jackie Brown after Pulp Fiction, which is actually my personal favorite Tarantino film. I love Jackie Brown. Pam Grier, I think, is fantastic and a very beautiful African American actress. I mean, I've seen some of her blaxploitation work as well, like Coffee and Foxy Brown. I think she's a pretty great actress. Robert De Niro is in the film. Samuel L. Jackson steals the show as Ordell Roby. My favorite Samuel L. Jackson character definitely is Ordell from Jackie Brown. Robert Forster is in the film too. He passed away a few months ago. May he rest in peace, right? Yeah, Jackie Brown, one of my favorites. My personal favorite, actually. And then you had the two Kill Bill movies, Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. For Volume 2 I have the poster right there. For Volume 1 I have the poster next to my door. It's like one of the first things you see once you enter my room. Yeah, I love the Kill Bill movies as well. We're gonna get more in depth about it later, because I do have two special editions for two Tarantino films, and one of them is the Kill Bill movies. So yeah, then you had Death Proof, which is kind of widely known that is the if you rank all the Tarantino films, that would come in last probably, because yeah, but I still like it. I didn't have any huge problems with it. I love Kurt Russell in it. I love the grindhouse cinema aspect to it, that whole retro 70s thing that they got going on there. Yeah, the cast is fantastic. Zoe Bell was a Tarantino regular by now. She's great. Rosario Dawson's in the film. She's good. Yeah, Death Proof, I didn't mind it. And then of course this box set is concluded with Inglourious Basterds, which, man oh man, that's a war movie to end all war movies. I mean, I've seen films like The Great Escape and I don't know what not, and Dirty Dozen, right? I've seen some war pictures in my time, but Inglourious Basterds, man oh man, great performances. Standout is Christoph Waltz, of course. I was gonna say Christopher Walken, but no, Christoph Waltz, who I love very much. I love that guy. I think he's fantastic as an actor. Ooh, that's a bingo. And great scenes with that character. Brad Pitt is amazing in the film as well, as Lieutenant Aldo Rain. Aldo the Apache. And that Italian scene where they're speaking Italian, like Buongiorno. Great Brad Pitt moment. And Christoph Waltz, who sees right through him, right? Yeah, Inglourious Basterds, I love it. I mean, Eli Roth is in the film as well, as Donnie the Bear Jew Donowitz. The Bear Jew. Yeah. I can go on about it all day, but I probably will sometime in the future once I do reviews on the films. Inglourious Basterds, great film. And then I finally upgraded it to Blu-ray very recently, Django Unchained. I had the DVD before, but now I have the Blu-ray, and now I have all the pictures that Tarantino did on Blu-ray. Django Unchained, his tribute to the spaghetti westerns. I mean, obviously because it's called Django, harkening back to the original 1966 Django from Sergio Corbucci. And Franco Nero was actually in the film, the original Django, has a scene in this film where he has face to face with the new Django, Jamie Foxx, and he asks him, what's your name? How do you spell it? And then Jamie Foxx spells the name, and he says the D is silent, and then Franco Nero says, I know, which I thought was fantastic. Great performance once again by Christoph Waltz, and let's not forget Leonardo DiCaprio was in the film. A great scene stealing Samuel L. Jackson again. Don Johnson even has a small part as Big Daddy Johnson. Yeah, I love Django Unchained. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, without a doubt. I love this film. Then his next movie was The Hateful Eight, this was the first Tarantino film I saw in theaters. Unfortunately, I was a little too young when Django Unchained came out. I believe I was about a year too young to go into it, and I tried to go, but didn't get in. They're very strict about the, age restriction on movies in my country. But yeah, Hateful Eight, first movie I saw in theaters, and what a great experience to watch this in the theaters. I mean, it was in January too, and it was in the middle of winter, and it was actually very cold, even in the theater. Yeah, that kind of contributed to the viewing experience too. But no, great cast, as always. I mean, pretty much all the Tarantino regulars are in this film. Sam Jackson again, Kurt Russell, Jennifer Jason Leigh as a great part as Daisy Domergue, Walton Goggins, Tim Roth and Michael Madsen, and Bruce Dern. Great movie, I love it. I know this one gets a lot of negativity for its length and excuse me, and the fact that it just goes on in scenes without actual stuff happening. But I don't mind that. I think that is done with a purpose too. But so yeah, it's done with a purpose. It's not like just drawing out sequences for the sake of drawing out sequences. It's actually Tarantino very purposely draws out some sequences. So yeah, I love it anyway. So yeah, and then of course the most recent movie from last year, 2019's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, with a fantastic cast once again. Pretty much all the regulars. DiCaprio and Brad Pitt are not reunited, but they are. They were in Tarantino movies before, and now they're here together. That's what I want to say. The beautiful and fantastic Margot Robbie is in the film. Al Pacino, my favorite actor, is in the film. That alone just makes it worthwhile. And then there comes the fact that it's a Tarantino film and every other stuff. But great setting. 1969's Los Angeles, about a stuntman and an actor. Actor and a stuntman, I should rather say. Dealing with the real life stuff like Charles Manson and Sharon Tate, of course, played by the beautiful and wonderful Margot Robbie, like I said. Yeah, I liked it. Again, I saw this one in theaters last year too. And if it wasn't for The Irishman, this would be my favorite film of last year. So yeah, there you go. My throat is really dry, I'm sorry. Okay. And then we have more of a curiosity than anything else. The Quentin Tarantino documentary film called QT8, The First 8, which covers every film that he did up until Hateful Eight, and they even briefly discuss Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But no, every Tarantino regular has an interview here. Michael Madsen, Zoe Bell, Bruce Dern, even Jamie Foxx has an interview. Diane Kruger from Inglourious Basterds, Kurt Russell, yeah, and some colleagues of his. Christoph Waltz I see here too. Robert Forster. I have to imagine it's one of the last interviews the man gave, because yeah, this is from last year if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, QT8, definite recommendation for Tarantino fans, because it goes pretty in depth about some pictures he did. So yeah. And then we have Four Rooms, which I actually picked up not too long ago. And there he is in the middle. That's Tarantino and Tim Roth together. He is in a little segment that he directed. And of course, like I said, he directed the segment and he's also in that segment. But no, Four Rooms is a film with 4 segments, directed by a different director each time. One is even done by Robert Rodriguez. Not too crazy about the film, but I did like the segment that Tarantino directed, so yeah. And then we got From Dusk Till Dawn, which he is co-starring in. The star is George Clooney, and Juliette Lewis is in the film from Cape Fear with De Niro. Yeah, directed by Robert Rodriguez, also with a part by the beautiful Salma Hayek right there. Uncut, and I think it's a 2-disc. Yeah, 2 discs, so it's also got some special features. Yeah, great Blu-ray, and I love the movie itself. I think it's a fantastic Should I give away the twist? I don't know. Most people that watch this probably have seen the film. My mouth prevents me from saying the twist. A pretty great vampire movie, there I said it. It doesn't look like a vampire movie from the cover for people that haven't seen it, but it turns into a vampire movie, so yeah. Normally I don't like to give away twists, but you know, I have to imagine that most people saw the movie by now. But. And then we have these special editions from Germany. These, this is the Pulp Fiction Jackrabbit Slims edition, Ultimate Fan Collection, which they put out 1 or 2 years ago. Actually has some nice goodies inside. And since we have a little bit of time, I'm going to show you. First up, you are greeted with the Jackrabbit Slims menu card, which is a pretty nice oddity. It's like you could probably use this if you're an aspiring filmmaker, you could probably use this as a prop. It's an actual menu card. You actually got stuff on there and prices, sandwiches, hamburgers. I wonder where the $5 shake is though. Oh, beverages. And then I don't see a milkshake. No. Too bad, but you do have the Kerwood Derby Burger or whatever Uma Thurman's character orders. So yeah, nice little addition there. Then you have this. God, actually, I'm really on the loss on how you call this in English, but it's like a wooden plank. Yeah. I imagine you will know what this is, but it has a quote on there, of course, by Sam Jackson. Hamburgers, the cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast. But no, it's where you can chop up your food on. I don't actually know the English word for it, I'm sorry. But then you have some postcards or art cards or whatever you want to call it, or little photos. One is the Bad Motherfucker wallet, or at least the font from the wallet. I actually own that wallet, not the wallet that was used in the movie, but a replica, and I actually use it as my own wallet, so I go around with a Bad Motherfucker wallet. Yeah, the $5 shake image illustration, that thing from the opening scene of Pulp Fiction where they explain what pulp means. Okay. The title card for Pulp Fiction. Yeah, let's put it in there. Bruce Willis as Butch in Pulp Fiction. This is the bag, it's really a postcard. So yeah. Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction as Mia Wallace. Vincent and Jules, aka John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson. From one of my favorite scenes, by the way, when they go to Jimmy, Tarantino's character. The twist scene, the dancing sequence. Probably one of the more famous scenes from Pulp Fiction, which goes well together with this. Ezekiel 25:17. This is the entire speech. I don't need this because I got it memorized, but the path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know I am the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. Yeah, I got it down to a T. I actually did it the way he says it the second time in film, at the end. And then some buttons, like a Big Kahuna Burger button, Bad Motherfucker button. Actually got Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, I'm not gonna get these out because they're still sealed and I haven't actually used them. This thing I did use, this was a bad motherfucker keychain. I mean, if I'm gonna have a bad motherfucker wallet, I also want a keychain. So I actually have that keychain attached to my house keys. So yeah, great addition, and also came with a which I don't have in the box anymore. It's also a thing that I use, like a shopping bag that had the Pulp Fiction poster on it. So like a, wait, maybe I can show you a little, because it is, wait, oh, they don't even show it on the, oh no, wait, it is. This thing on the right here, yeah, see, it's like a shopping bag with the Pulp Fiction poster on it, which I do use. I actually use it when I go to the store to pick up my movies. I put the movies in that bag, so yeah. And then last but certainly not least, as a great addition for Kill Bill, Volume 1 and 2. Oh, and of course, I forgot to mention, the Blu-ray of Pulp Fiction is also in there. Actually forgot to show you, but you know, this is the Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, Black Mamba edition, Ultimate Fan Collection once again. Oh yeah, and the poster came with the Pulp Fiction set, which is the poster that I have hanging. And of course you see this poster, which is right there. And the Kill Bill Volume 1 poster is also in my room, but the rest of the contents are in here. So let's take a look inside. Great box. The first thing you're greeted with, it's laying right on top, is a license plate for the Pussy Wagon. Fortunately, I cannot actually put this on my car, but great thing. It's actually real. It's actually real metal. Yeah, pretty great. The Pussy Wagon, or the PSYWGN, but we all know it's the Pussy Wagon. This time I'm gonna show you the. It does come with the movie itself, movies I should say, for this one. Then also this came with a Pussy Wagon keychain, which I have on my car keys. Yeah. I love having these things. Yeah. So I cannot show you, but it is the Pussy Wagon keychain that they also use in the movie. And again, more buttons, which again I don't have much use for buttons, so I keep them in the bag sealed. But it is a fun little addition, I must admit. More postcards. The Death List 5. The 5 targets that the bride has in the movie. Michael Madsen being one of them. Vivica A. Fox, Lucy Liu, and Daryl Hannah. And of course Bill himself, David Carradine. Great actor. A great picture of Lucy Liu as O-Ren Ishii. Uma Thurman as the bride. David Carradine as Bill. Great shot here of the 5 before they enter the chapel. Or church, or whatever you call it. Oh, this is a great shot too. Yes, I would definitely love to have a big version of this and kind of like a poster. I think this would be a great goal. And this is also a pretty great shot. Okay, Pai Mei, here I come. Daryl Hannah as Al Driver, I believe her name was, the character. Well, this is another great shot. Yeah, I liked it. Oh yeah, great scene. I love this scene. Pai Mei. Yeah, Kill Bill. Great movies. Tribute, of course, to Hong Kong cinema, Asian cinema, which I must say I'm not too familiar with, but Kill Bill does kind of spark my interest in it. So, and then this is again more of an oddity. You get a notepad, which I actually do use. I actually wrote down some stuff in it about collecting. I actually write down all the movies that I want to own. But no, the cover of it is the Deathless 5 scene, capture from the scene from the movie. So yeah, of course these are the targets. So yeah, that's all there is in there. Yeah, do got some more bubble wrap there to protect everything. So yeah, but no, that's basically everything that is in these special editions. And those are all the Quentin Tarantino films that I own, which, like I said, are all of them. And Kill Bill I actually own twice now because of these great, awesome box sets. And Pulp Fiction. Not that I mind owning them twice, because they're fantastic movies. So yeah, that's Quentin Tarantino. I love all of his work, actually. I have no movie where I'm like, that's a terrible film. It's kind of like... even the worst Tarantino film is like Sex and Pizza. It's always going to be good. You know? Anyway, those are the Quentin Tarantino films that I have. And, I mean, yeah, those are all the Quentin Tarantino films, basically. So far, I'm really excited to see what he's going to do next, because if the rumors are true, if what he's saying is true, there's one more movie left in him. Because he wants to do 10 movies and then he's calling it quits. Which, I like the idea of it, like he just wants to do 10 and then done, but I mean, it is going to be 10 of the best movies ever made, so yeah. But I'm also like, I just want to see more of the guy. I love Tarantino, he's a great cinephile. I mean, if you think I have a lot of knowledge about movies and I own a lot of movies, I think if we're all gonna see Tarantino's collection of movies, we're gonna freak, because I think he has even more. Yeah, that's an understatement, but even more. He's gonna have a lot of stuff, and he's probably gonna have 10 times the knowledge, more knowledge than I have about cinema. So yeah. But you know, I'm still a work in progress. No, anyway, that's a little humor to wrap it up. Those are the Tarantino films once again. Thank you all for watching. And there's one more collection video left after this, which are going to be all the movies that are not categorized or tied to anything, a genre or an actor or something. So yeah, just everything that I just threw in a pile. I'm going to sort that out later, basically. Because I don't have a lot of room left for new movies. I need to find some additional space for my movies, because all my shelves are packed. Boom, everything's full. I need some new I need to make some new shelves somewhere or something, I don't know, or some new storage material for it, but I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for watching once again, and so long for now.